On March the 11th, 2012, Chief Keef and Lil Reese will drop the music video for their song I Don't Like on D Gaines' channel, forever changing the Chicago rap scene. This song would be the official debut single from Chief Keef, and it would rack up over 30 million views in just over a year, peaking at number 73 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts, going platinum, and even receiving an all-star remix from Kanye West. But more than all of that, Chief Keef's explosive rise to fame would bring the world's eyes and ears to the Chicago streets and the gang conflicts behind the music. Not only did it make Chicago gangs and their members famous all around the world, but the budding music scene would create an opportunity for those young men stuck in the cycle of violence to get out and forge another path through music. Until this moment, it would be hard for many of the lost youth of Chicago to imagine a way out of the streets, but now, rapping was a viable option, and Chief Keef was the prime example of someone using their music to find fame and fortune and move out of America's most dangerous city. This was the new environment that Tay would return to after being locked up since early 2011. In February 2012, a Welch World member would post on his Facebook about how Tay was about to have his trial, and eventually Tay would find himself back on the streets of the low end sometime in the latter half of 2012. Not that much is known about his activities from this time, but in September he would make a Twitter account using the name Tay Badass that he went by at the time, giving some insights into what he was up to during this period. And despite the drill rap craze that had taken over the city, Tay wasn't initially looking to cash in by becoming a rapper.
What made you not interested in making music at that time period? You just wanted to be like one of the homies? You didn't think you had the star potential?
Rapping, not really. I mean, now you could say anything. As you can see, you could say anything, but it wasn't really that easy to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got the thoughts, I got the
life experience.
Yeah, the life experience, so I should be able to, it's just kind of hard to put it in words and make sense and make you know what I'm saying?
Perhaps due to the stipulations of his release, he was seemingly working a legitimate job and tweeting about how slow the days go by when you're working. However, despite having to get an honest 9 to 5, Tay was still close to many of the key figures in the early drill scene, particularly on the BD side of the BD versus GD's gang war. And he can be seen in old photos from that time hanging out with guys like Lil Reese, who he's still close to, as well as fallen O-Block members T-Roy and JMane. Tay was also seemingly on positive terms with Chicago rapper Lil Durk, and members of his OTF collective regularly retweeting them. And he was commonly speaking with the rapper and fellow low-ender Katie Got Bands from OBN, as well as being in contact with the sister of Tay 600, Mena Red, and sister of King Von, Kayla B. Tay was clearly incredibly social with many of the new legendary figures from the Chicago streets, and he would seemingly have a knack for bringing people together who you might not expect to see in the same place. Tay was also seemingly good friends with guys like THF Bezu and Mubu Crump, and in a now infamous video, they can all be seen in the car together, all of them holding some pretty serious weaponry, ready and armed for the ops.
There's a whole lot of fake going on. This ain't fake though. That motherfucker ain't fake, man.
That's how we ride.
That ain't fake, man.
Crump would actually tweet about Bezu, saying that he talks a lot about Melly, but Tay had Bezu and Melly in the car together. And Tay would indeed allegedly bring together THF Bezu and 051 Melly, despite both Tay and Bezu being at war with Melly's Young Money set.
Oh, well, that's Melly. What? I ain't no shit though about the band. Yeah, he really on. You know, that's they. You know, cause they used to be on like 670 East End, but they ain't really even know who. Like it's like, you know, the internet. Not everybody know everybody's face, you know what I'm saying?
Despite being fresh home out of jail, he was still trigger-happy Tay, and many stories would circulate around this time about the shootouts that Tay had become involved in, with a lot of the violence stemming from the conflicting and confusing relationships Tay had across lines of the many Chicago gang wars. Tay would later open up about his relationship with Melly from 051, Young Money, in interviews, explaining that at first he didn't know anything about Melly, but he would come to know him due to the fact that Melly had a relationship with Welch's baby mother, and that Welch World largely inherited their beef with Young Money from THF 46.
So man, it's a crazy story, man. Look, so bam, at first I didn't even know who Melly was, you feel me? But he started Welch's baby mama and shit, you feel me? So, you know, bro, them telling like, man, you know, Melly, cause at first we wasn't even into Young Money. We kind of like inherit that beef through the six, them the guys, so you know they ain't alright, so we on their ass type. But so she started fucking with him, you know, once it kind of like really started heating up between us.
After getting released from prison, however, Tay would hear rumors about Melly talking about him.
When I had came home, you feel me? Melly ass was just like talking, I guess, sending a lot of threats and stupid. Like a lot of them called me like, yeah, Melly said this, Melly said that. Who the fuck is Melly? He from 051, what the damn. All right, man. So I'm studying this.
And according to Tay, one night at a club, he would end up running into Motor from Jaro City, who was his old cellmate.
I was locked up with Motor, you feel me? So I kind of had like a little relationship with Motor.
Motor was a good friend of Melly, and the two would end up getting in a conversation about him.
When I come home, I had be 2 attempts come home, and man, so many they call it to my ear. Melly saying this, Melly saying that, Melly saying then catching Melly. Wow, I'm good. So, man, one day we in a club. I run into Motor. You feel me? We got Reese with us. Now we not knowing that this like Hottie Day or some shit. You feel me? We in deja vu. So, so we see Motor. So I was locked up with Motor. You feel me? So, you know, we rotate with him and shit. He, man, who Reese here with? He here with us. So, you know, we on his ass, son, man. Hey, you feel me? Here with us, good. So we kind of have words with him. Matter of fact, what Melly at anyway, man? I'm studying about this Melly, man. He with you? So folks around, watch the band, I check it. Tell him I'm out here, though, dude.
They both would also have other people with them, namely Lil Reese, who was with Tay, and FYB JMane, who was with Motor.
So we go to the club and shit. So yeah, we had Reese with us that day.
In the club on phone number, I got them members with me. Do your homework on FYB JMane having members with him, bro. It hit different. Long live Motor, BD Motor. It hit different when it's BD Motor I was with, bro. Nah, we in the club, bro, on phone number doing us. Motor in there, throwing up the trays. Do your homework on throwing up the trays with one hand and cracking them with the other.
What does that mean?
That mean you BD, but you BDK, bro. It hit different, bro.
Okay.
According to JMane, Lil Reese had previously come through his hood shooting at them as a result of a family feud they were having, and JMane wanted revenge, ultimately confronting Reese in the club.
Now, Reese see me get scared. It hit different when you see big FYB JMane, Mr. It hit different in person. Why he scared, Sean? Cause he just came through the hood and la 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 la. So he already know what time it is, bro. It hit different. So on phone he see JMane mug now mug. Why y'all letting them run up on me, man? Why y'all letting them run up on me? Keep in mind, I don't know Tay Savage. From what I'm understanding, I'm guessing he is one of the other individuals who was there. I see red when I see you, so my eyes is focused on him. That's the only person I'm seeing. And he telling security, why y'all letting these walk up on me, man? I know these, man. I know them.
Lil Reese told that to security.
This is what Lil Reese telling security. Now he's backing up behind security. Remember I told you it's some stairs right here.
And then, as both crews were later leaving the club, they would see each other again, getting into a shootout, with JMane ducking under a hail of bullets and somebody shooting back, allegedly shooting Tay Savage in the nose.
After that, goddammit, we leave and they get on us. They fake it on the con. We get into a bang out. They skin my nose. They got what they got, whatever. But
no. I hear, somebody get shot in their nose, bro. It hit different. We see somebody fall. We jump in car.
The next morning, Tay's uncle would call him, as he was a close friend with Melly's uncle, with both being from Tay's old hood. And the uncles were actually trying to organise a peace treaty between Welch World and Young Money, but Tay wouldn't go for that. However, he would develop a somewhat of a cordial relationship with 051 Melly.
So long story short, my uncles, I got some uncles that's tied in with his uncles. So like the next morning they called me like, man, pull up out the band. So I pull up, you got your Melly Motor in the crib. Matter of fact, he asked me, like, man, you had a situation last night on me. Yeah, walk the band, man, pull up on me, I need to holler at you. So I pull up, you feel me? He got Motor in the hood and y'all Melly in the crib. And y'all need to squash that shit, watch the band. So I tell him, I got some respect for my uncle, you feel me? So I tell him like, man, look, between me and him, it could be like, you know, like cordial, you feel me? But, you know, ain't no, it's blood in it. So ain't no squashing. So that's really what it was, you feel me? I stayed on 670 East End for so long, and his uncle's from there, so you know we'll be going in and out the crib, and he'll be there. So we, you know, rotate with him. So my uncle tied in, you feel me? So they like, yeah, that out the band, whoa. Y'all should squash it. They was really trying to make us like squash the whole war, but I'm like, bro, that, you feel me? It's blood, and I can't. And then you know we with the 6, and like, I ain't gonna be able to do that. But I'm like, but with me and him, like we could be cordial, you feel me? Like. We can be cordial. Like I see him, it ain't gotta be no shots fired or no like that or whatever, and vice versa. So, like I say, I low-key stayed on the block where they used to hang. So I used to pull up and Melly used to be out there with his uncles and shit. Yeah, chop it up.
But the friction between Tay and 051 Young Money wasn't the only famous beef he had in Chicago during this time. Tay was clearly a big fan of the new drill wave, particularly Chief Keef's music, often tweeting his lyrics. However, Tay's personal relationship with Chief Keef's Glory Boys group and their members was a little more complicated, and there were several indications that there might have been some issues between these two crews. In one old screenshot from Tay's Instagram posted by Redditors, he was seemingly implying that he had beaten up and robbed GBE member Taydo of his chain and watch. Tay would later address these rumors in a 16-shot interview, admitting that there had been an altercation between the two, but denying ever robbing him.
Because I had seen something, they said some, like you had robbed him or something.
Yeah. Hell nah, I ain't potato.
Was it like an altercation at all? Like what?
It was a little altercation. Got really blown out of proportion. Tato, I though.
Another rumor would also claim that Tay had beaten up Ball Out and robbed his chain. Again, Tay would comment on this rumor in his DJU interview, calling it a misunderstanding.
And they said something about robbing Ball Out?
Man, yeah, that was some
allegedly?
Yeah, that was some allegedly. But it was really just really misunderstanding with that, you feel me?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then, in yet another occasion, Tay's close friend Mubu Crump would tweet to GBE Capo, accusing him of dissing Welch and threatening to beat him up like they did Ball Out. However, there was seemingly never anything past these few skirmishes, and recently, Tay appeared to be hanging out with both Chief Keef and Taydo at a club together with Lil Reese. In many ways, Tay had become the connector between many of the fractured and warring gang sets all over Chicago. And these friendships, as well as the altercations and his reputation as a bully, made him a legendary figure in the Chicago drill scene before he had rapped a single lyric. However, it would be years before he made the decision to enter the rap scene himself, and for the time being, he would continue to cultivate a serious reputation for himself in the streets rather than in the studio.